Welcome to Private Money Secrets. I'm Keith Yackey and I'm your host, and all we talk about here is private money, real estate, and some other fun stuff. Grab your favorite beverage. Let's dive in. Let's talk about one characteristic that I think that gets a lot of buzz, but it doesn't, I think, get the recognition that it's really due. And the one characteristic that I think is overlooked, or the word's thrown around so much it's almost lost its power, it's almost lost its zing. And the word is leadership. Whenever you look at a big company, a big movement, you say Ed Mylett, Andy Frisella, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, these guys that lead companies that do hundreds of millions of dollars a year, impact millions of people through their message, through their product, through their service, through their goods, whatever it is. You've got to know first and foremost that their ability to lead themselves and lead others is great. Now, you may not see it. You may not see the hours. For sure you're not going to see the hours that these guys put in to gain better leadership and to be better leaders. But if you're looking back and you're saying, wow, look at these guys leading movements. What did they do to get there? The first and foremost thing that they had to do is they had to decide they were going to lead themselves. They were going to be the people that said, no matter what, I've got a vision for where I want to go, and I'm going to lead myself to there, and I'm going to gather people around me who want to head in that direction as well. And I think one of the things that we really forget, because we hear leadership, oh, that's the leader, follow the leader, who's the leader? We hear those types of things, and we forget, I think, really what leadership is. And for me, my understanding of leadership is a couple of things. Number one, living the way you tell others they should live. That's first and foremost, right? You're leading by example. If you tell people they should get up at 5 a.m., you're getting up at 5 a.m. You're telling people they should meditate, you're meditating. You're telling people they should get sweaty every day, you're getting sweaty every day. You're telling people they should, whatever it is you're telling them to do, you're telling them from a place and a perspective that you do it as well. So that's first and foremost. You're leading the actual life that you're telling other people to lead. Secondly, you have evidence that you're leading this life. You're not just doing things without getting results just to say you did them. For example, if you say, hey, I'm getting sweaty, for at least 30 minutes a day, I'm eating clean, I'm doing the things that I tell other people to do to have great energy and to be a leader with great energy, and you're just kind of putting in the motions, but you don't exemplify, you don't look like somebody who gets sweaty every day. You don't look like somebody who eats clean. You look fat, you look sloppy, you look like somebody who maybe just says this stuff but doesn't really do it. What's going to happen is, A, you're selling yourself short, and you know it deep inside, you know you're full of shit. And secondly, the people looking on can go, this doesn't resonate, right? I'm hearing what he's saying, but I'm not seeing what he's saying. And it reminds me, just yesterday, I asked my daughter, I said, hey, what do we see with our eyes or our ears? And she said, ears. I go, yeah, sometimes. But we can hear with our eyes because we're watching what you do. So as a leader, you're saying, I'm not only doing it, but I'm doing it and it's effective in my life. There's evidence, there's fruit, there's results of me actually doing it. And then you look around and you say, hey, listen, if I'm really a leader, is there anybody following me? And I think one of the keys for leadership, like really becoming a great leader, is leading yourself first. And I would dare say that the second you decide that leading yourself is more important than pretending to lead on Instagram and Facebook so you can get some followers, the second you decide to lead yourself and that becomes more important than posting shit for likes and hearts and comments, I want to tell you that becomes the time when you actually are getting ready to impact the world in a major way. And I say major way, man, that could be for 1,000 people, could be for 1 million people. Time will tell who and how big you impact the world. But as long as you live in fake Graham land, you're not actually really doing the work. Doing the work means, hey, if you're a leader, you're not just following what everybody else says. You're not going where everybody else says to go. You're actually doing this because it's important to you. You have a vision for where you want to go. Most people, they call themselves leader and they have no plan. Well, first of all, they have no idea what destination they want to get to, and they have no plan of how to get there. And that's scary because the Bible calls that the blind leading the blind. And in Instagram and Facebook and some of these other places, you can be the blind leading the blind if your blindness is shiny enough and your blindness sounds articulate enough. But when you look at some of these leaders, the Frizellas, the Milettes, the Gates, the Warrens, some of the sports leaders, they're leading from the front. They're leading by example, and people are following because there's something happening there. There's a level of leadership. You may not like their style of leadership, but there is a level and depth to their leadership that you know not of yet. And it's easy for us in our society to be armchair quarterbacks and to sit back and go, that's not a good leader, this is a good leader, that's not a good leader. But if you stop and pause to look at your life and say, you know what? When's the last time I've led anything? Who might even talk about how shitty their leadership is if I haven't led anything myself? And so when it comes to raising private money, when it comes to doing deals, when it comes to being a real leader and having success in your life, I just want you to know and understand very, very simply that typically you don't have a business problem. You have a personal problem that's being led into your business life. And I can tell you with 100% certainty on my end, you're going to need to live this out so that you can gain the certainty on your end. And you're welcome to borrow my certainty in the meantime. And that is this: your success, your fulfillment, your joy, the level you reach in your career and your personal happiness, that level will be directly correlated to the level of leadership you're willing to fight and attain. What level of leadership are you willing to fight for and attain and maintain? That will be the direct correlation of how successful you become. The most successful people lead the most people. They're able to sell more to people. They have people that will buy their stuff, people that will follow them into basically the gates of hell. And it's because they're a good leader. I've met stupid people that are good leaders. I've met ugly people that are good leaders. And they boil it down to they believe in where they're going. They know where they're going. They believe in where they're going. They're certain about the path. There's a kind of an iconic person that a lot of people know is Gary Vee. That guy's certain about everything he does. And he's wrong a lot of the times. But he's certain about it, and people follow him because of it. So your level of certainty in talking to others is only going to go up when your level of certainty in talking to yourself is actually believed by you. You can cut corners. This morning, I was tempted to cut corners. We were doing these crazy bear crawl exercises with dumbbells, and I didn't really like it. And I knew there was only 1 minute left of the exercise. I'm like, Keith, you can totally dog this right now. And I go, yeah, I could, but then I would be a shitty leader. And I know that me being a shitty leader to myself and in private is going to show up massively in front of others. It'll just take time to be revealed. Your level of leadership will be exposed at one point. So you might as well go all in. I would highly encourage you to double down on what does it mean to be a great leader. YouTube it, Google it, buy books on it. But the bottom line is the more you spend and invest in becoming a better leader of yourself and others, the happier and more successful you'll be, plain and simple. All right, so if you're wanting to learn how to raise more private money, go to www.privatemoneypro.com, www.privatemoneypro.com, where I can show you how to be a private money pro. Take care and go rock it.